have you to talk about big data applications and technologies in real world applications. How about let's start with a self-introduction and then we can get started with the interview.
Okay. My name is Fenghong. I'm currently a software engineer, staff software engineer in Voyager. I'm not sure you know DiDi. It's a self-driving company owned by DiDi. It's Chinese Uber, you know. Before this, I worked in Facebook for 7 years around. I think a little more than 7 years, 7.5. I used to work in Facebook in ads and another team in growth, deal with some kind of the ads data and user data. Try to my work in Facebook is around about try to find out the opportunity to help other industries and maybe ad owners or something, advertisers to build a business. And currently I'm working also in big data area in Voyager in self-driving. So I'm currently some kind of the data infrastructure team. It's building tools or platforms to help others to do data analyze. Okay.
All right. How about we also introduce ourselves, the group, study group member. Yeah. Sweta, how about let's start from you?
I can't hear.
You're muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm Shweta. I'm currently pursuing my master's in San Jose State University. And this is my second sem. Yeah. I'm currently pursuing my course in big data. So I would like to learn more about the things from you. Yeah.
Hi, myself Dev. We all are from San Jose State University. We're pursuing a data analytics course, and we are very excited about the big data course, and the coursework is amazing. We are getting to learn a lot, and we're really excited to know real insights from you in this session.
Hi, next. Hi, this is Dipasha. So thank you for joining us today for the interview. Thank you for giving us your time. I know it must be hectic for you handling the work and also giving us some time and spending the time to guide us. So I'm pursuing my master's in San Jose State University. This is my fourth semester. And yes, big data, from big data, I'm learning a lot. Under Professor Vishnu, we're learning a lot. And I have some industry experience. But to data team, I am new. So for that, we want to learn more from you. How is the industry going on with data team? And thank you again for joining us today for the interview.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, hi, I'm Vaishnavi. I'm currently pursuing my master's from San Jose State University. This is my second sem, and we're really very excited to learn about real world project insights from you.
All right. So my first question for you is, can you tell us more about your current work at DiDi?
Sure. So currently I work in so first it's my current company is to be more accurate is Voyager. It's it's a chart company. It's owned by DiDi, but it's not DiDi. It's a self-driving company. It's a cross-country self-driving company. So we have a United States department and also we have a Chinese department. We work together. And my team's majority is working on the cloud simulation and you can see infrastructure. So to be more specific, my duty is about the ownership of a data mining platform. So in the a self-driving company, a lot of the data mining jobs, people, engineers would want to have develop a lot of data mining jobs, something like that. Okay, I want to find out all the scenarios which there's a right turn in the crossing, something like that. People have developed those things every day. But with this, it's not that easy to ask everyone to learn how to write Scala or Spark jobs. I think you guys know that, familiar about that. So my duty is about support others to develop this on top of the self-driving data. Most of this is road trip data around when the self-driving car have a trip, we have logged all kinds of data into our HDFS. How to organize this, how to storage this, and how to speed up you to mine this, and also how to make it easier for you to query this. Yeah, it's something like this. We have a platform to do this.
Okay, my question would be, what kind of data are you using? Like amount of data, or what kind of data?
Majority of those data we used is around, as I say, road trip data. So there's a self-driving car. We have the self-driving car test every day, in Bay Area, and also in China, in China, Guangzhou, and every day those testing data we have you can see logs. It's not only logs, but let's treat it as logs. We have logs from those cars, and we store those logs into HDFS. So this is the majority of the data. Besides this, also we use other data like the map, like some metadata or something else. But majority of it is the logs and how the road looks like and how the map looks like. And how big it is. This is a good question. It depends. So the total amount of the data you can see is around several PB per day. Yeah, but this is the HDFS data. But we can, I'm not sure how to speak, how to describe all that thing, but every level we have different things. So generally speaking, we stored, several PB data per day in HDFS.
Are there any specific challenges when
I just have a I have a follow-up question for this. So regarding, you said there's huge amount of data generated every day. So how do you the data is collected on the car, right? By the system on the car. How do you transfer those data to your storage? Do you need to plug in to a
you plug in. That's the fastest way, because the data is in the car. We don't use networking so a difference between self-driving company and other company like Facebook. Let's talk about this. Facebook is an online service company, so it has an online service. Facebook need to guarantee that the Facebook website never crash and keeps running, and the ads keeps running every second. So a lot of those data was, all the products and data products should be online product. But self-driving company is not the same. Most of the product we want to deal with those data is offline data processing. We don't have, it's not something like, okay, the self-driving car keeps connecting with our server. No, it's not like this. We only need to, upgrade their software, maybe, per week or maybe per 2 weeks. Anyway, we do offline data training, model training. So that's the majority of our big data processing. So plugging is just enough for us, because we don't need, okay, we want this data 1 minute later. No, it's not like this. The challenge, as you said, another question, the majority challenge of this is about throughput, is not delay. We don't care about delay because, again, no online service. But the throughput is big. Every day there's several PB, and you have to, you have thousands or maybe a lot of jobs running on this. How to make sure those jobs are running fast? I mean, I'm not sure fast, but not consuming too much resource, because we pay we pay for the CPU and memory to run those data mining jobs. How to save time and save money for this, and how to save money not only means that we save money, but also means that we can run more data mining jobs. We can have better model training. So it's the same. So most of our projects is about, okay, how to speed up or how to increase our throughput of simulation jobs or data mining jobs, those things.
Yeah, what kind of tools will you be using for this? Need specific tools or something?
So in current company, so first, traditional tools we use is Spark, Presto, of course, and with in HDFS we use Hive also. We build it as Hive tables, but we have DiDi build its own infrastructure to handle those things. So on top of Hadoop and Presto, both DiDi and Facebook has their own infrastructure to help you build data mining jobs. For more specific, you only need to write SQL, and there's a platform could write for you. Okay. Currently for Voyager, we can't do this level. We are developing this level because one of the most challenging things is currently the data we stored is not as a Hive table. So the logs from the car is not is saved as protobuf. It's another kind of protocol. It's not a packet. It's not something could directly organize as a Hive table. And something should be done here to speed up the data query or something. Yeah. So that's the thing. Other tools we use, DiDi has also another thing help you to build lightweighted SQL jobs and build dashboard. Means I think the name is Data E. It's something like that. Unidash. I'm not sure if you use this Unidash or dashboards. It's a little more than that. Help you to draw all kinds of charts with SQL, and also we use Airflow to manage the job dependencies. This is I think this is an open source thing. You may know. But besides this, we still have our own things to. We build our own things on top of Airflow because we want some, further function, more functions or something. Any other things you want to know? I'm not sure what kind of tools you're interested in.
Yeah, and most of these tools will be hosted on cloud, or do you use on-premise providing?
All big companies have their own cloud.
Okay.
So at least DiDi and Facebook has their own cloud. We don't build up on AWS or something.
Okay.
Just a quick question for the Airflow. So how many Airflow like DAX do you write?
No, in DiDi, I didn't write a lot of Airflow DAX, several. I mean, only
Okay, but usually like
less than 10. I write very few Airflow DAX because that's not my. We have a lot of Airflow DAX, but I didn't write it.
Yeah, or let me ask the question in this way. So to deal with this kind of data, usually how many DAX are there?
Difficult to say. Sorry, I don't have estimation for this. Yeah, it's difficult to say. And there's several reasons for this. It's not like Facebook. Facebook has a lot of DAX, but Facebook is not using Airflow. Facebook has its own tools. The name is Data Swarm. I'm not sure you guys know. That's you can see something similar as Airflow. Facebook thinks it's another kind of thing. Facebook has too many data mining jobs. Not only data mining, but also something lightweighted, SQL jobs, small metric calculation jobs. Too many, and Facebook have too many teams. So most of the things happen is that your team's input is another team's output. And that's the big problem. So Facebook, I also don't know how many DAGs we have in Facebook, because you have no way to visit the whole picture. You only know your team's picture. So that's the thing. Voyager is another thing. We don't have too many teams working on data mining. So the self-driving company is only of several hundred engineers. It's a small company, it's a startup. And we don't have a lot of data mining job, but I still don't know the accurate number, because I'm not the one. You have to be the one who can view the whole picture. But I can only guess, maybe only 1,000, something like that. And another thing is like that. DiDi is just changed. We're just trying to make everyone to use Airflow. Before that, DiDi has its own tools similar to Airflow. So in fact, it's something like this. We have two tools, two frameworks to manage job dependencies. Airflow is one of them. And we currently were trying to ask everyone to use the same one. Yeah, and maybe one thing you may be interested in is, based on my understanding, Facebook is developing its own things above Airflow, because Airflow have a big problem as if your two teams, as I say, Airflow you have to build a DAG. If two DAG has dependencies, it's difficult to manage it. Airflow don't support any way to manage those things. But in fact, in the real world, one team can handle, a very complicated DAG is fine. But two teams, it's very, very difficult to ask two teams to work on the same DAG. Even one team, two engineers, it's not that easy to work on the same DAG. So that's the thing. Facebook, as long as your company is very big, you have to build up on something like above Airflow to do some DAG management.
So, coming to Facebook, as we're talking about Facebook now, so coming to Facebook, I have a question. Like, you must have very good experience, and that you must have it's a diverse set of technology, right? In Facebook, we are dealing with different data. When you're coming to DiDi, it must be different kind of data, different set of data. So how do you experience, like, were there any impactful or interesting experience which you had in Facebook, which you feel like, it was a major technical challenge for me, and everyone should know about it, and yeah, it's very impactful for others, which you would like to share with us? Any technical challenge which you have must faced in Facebook, given the huge amount of data and everything?
Sorry, I'm a little confused about this question. Could you be more specific about the? Could you give me some example, or be more specific?
Yeah, I'd say from my industry experience, I'd say when we are working on a team, there was some issue with in a project, like specific to a project or specific to any task. It was a technical challenge when we are trying to integrate our messaging service with another system. At that time, we faced lots of challenges. So I would like to know if you have faced similar challenges in your area when you are working at Facebook. Any technical challenges which you might have faced because the huge amount of data, or because of different tools or technology which they are using. So just like to know if you have faced any of those challenges anytime.
So I faced a lot of challenges in both Facebook and Voyager. So first, as you see, if I face challenge about the amount of data, of course, we have this challenge almost every day. So yeah, majority of the problems comes from there's too much data. That's the anyways the reason of all almost all things. If we don't have so many data, there's nothing happening. You know, we even don't need a cluster. That's the thing. So that's not but what I think is that's not that's not the real reason of the challenge. So that's the I mean, that's the, for my understanding is that that's the reality. We have such amount of data. So it's the things, how you decide your technical route, how you deal with this data. That's the thing. So no matter what kind of the company, so I think the things is like that, or you have to do, so the most challenge is you have to predict future and trying to predict the future and find out the most painful thing to solve. So it's not something that's always, you can't make a perfect product. I want this, I want that. No, definitely not. You must sacrifice something. Try to find out the things you can sacrifice and make the plan. And with making this plan, what's important is that you have to guess what would happen in the future.
Got it. So
for example, Facebook, in my one of the examples is my work in Facebook is so we have too much data, as you see. We are trying to do some data calculation of some metrics. So there's two decisions two directions we could go. One direction is we can make some kind of complicated system, but we add a lot of index to speed up all kinds of query. Another one is let's make an easier system, but we do a sampling of the data. It may makes the metrics not that accurate.
Yeah, can understand. Yeah.
So something like that. Such kind of things happen a lot in both Facebook. This is example. You have to do the choice. It's not always like that. Okay, the most challenging technical thing is correct. In fact, as time going, we found out that if we do the easiest one, just do a sampling, it will save a lot of time. It will be much better. In fact, we go to the second one several years later and found out, okay, in fact, we can accept this.
Got it. And if you see, like, tools are evolving, like you must have seen coming to technology like JavaScript and Angular, you can see there's always a migration happening every time in the industry. So we have also learned in the class recently, like how they have moved from MapReduce to Spark, and how we are moving from RabbitMQ to Kafka we moved. So how can you explain, like, have you experienced anything as such technological transition in the industry? How's your experience?
Yes. So first, have I experienced? Yes. As you say, I in fact I experienced from let's don't say about Hadoop to Spark. It's more about Hive to Spark, right? You know, in Spark, your storage could still use Hadoop. I used to in Facebook to develop pure Java. I used to try to do pure Java, and then we go to Spark to own this. Facebook use Presto more than Spark, in fact. I use all of them. And I also has experience from Spark to Ray. This is what we are working in Voyager. I'm not sure if you guys know Ray. Anyway, it's I think it's something like that happened recent years. So this is the thing. I have experience. Second, is there any challenge? Majority of these from a big company is is more challenge is not my side. It's the company wide say, okay, let's change to use Spark. We would deprecate Hive. You have to do that. The Facebook give you a deadline. Migrate all of your jobs to Spark. We are not going to support it anymore. So that's the most of the infra teams work on. Give you a deadline and give you a lot of tools and give you a support of the new framework and ask you to migrate. We did a similar things in in Voyager. We also have our own platform. We develop a new one. Okay, give you time. Try to migrate all your jobs. And the second thing, based on my understanding, the industrial side use new technology is not that fast as the technology just come. For example, Spark is currently is very, it's an old framework. It's not a new one. Most of the product teams and companies are very, very, let's see. I think those companies are very, very, very
Cautious.
careful to change to use those frameworks. It's not something a new framework I want to use. They would love to wait for the technology to be understand, or maybe
More mature.
to have more time, to be accepted by a lot of people, and they would spend a lot of time to prove that yes, this way is anyways some kind of the better. And it's not only this better, I mean, not only the efficiency, but also for those companies, what's more important is the stability. Because everyone knows during the migration, the whole system stability is a problem. Definitely there will be some data loss or job crash or something during the migration, or of course a lot of bugs would be green. So that's the thing. Normally it's slow.
Yeah, like
example,
we have seen, like banking industry, they still use a legacy.
Yes,
They
yes,
do not change. Yeah,
yes.
I understand.
I have a question. So recently there's been rising concern for data security and user privacy and stuff. So how do organizations manage and protect the data with this huge amount of data?
It's difficult to say. Some of the things is basically is the for data mining. Most of the things is not that sensitive because you're not directly go to customer. You are training model or something. But in Facebook, if ads or something, there's a lot of the very strict process of how to throw out the sensitive data, how to make sure those sensitive data, the sensitive data was tracked in the data side. For example, something like the user ID is tracked everywhere. As long as you use the data ID, you have to parse a bunch of the processing to make sure that you actually it's legal to use it or something. Anyway, technically, be honest, I don't know a lot of technique how to deal with this. It's more about based on my understanding, it's more about how people set the rules to guarantee this.
Okay, so high-level management takes care of all the governing rules related to data storage and protection.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe technique is after those rules, we have technique to track those rules. Those rules is guaranteed by techniques.
Yeah. Okay. And one more question. Like you said, all the major companies use their own cloud to store all the data, but then a lot of startups rely on cloud providers like AWS or Google Cloud. Suppose, let's say there's a startup and there are several services that it wants to use in its data pipeline. What do you recommend? Like service from different cloud providers or all the services within the same cloud provider?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like
what do you recommend?
I'm not sure if I know the I'm not sure if I know the correct answer because I never use something development AWS or something.
Okay.
Those companies have their own things similar to AWS. I'm not sure how to. I'm also not familiar with how to guarantee the data is safe and how to guarantee the efficiency of all of the problems if you develop it's not it's not in your cloud. But maybe I trust AWS. AWS have a lot of tools to deal with this, but I don't know.
Okay.
So I have one question that in today's world, like there are lots of AI tools. So, could you please tell us about AI tools like ChatGPT or Bard, and there are code helpers also like AWS Code Whisperer and
We are not using any of
like
them.
oh,
We are
okay.
not using any of them, even
Okay.
including ChatGPT. One of the reasons is that it's very sensitive to send data to ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
You know, for a lot of companies, maybe small companies don't care about it, but a lot of companies care about their data safety. So
Yeah.
unless they have a own server and 100% sure what the data is not going out, they can build a ChatGPT server or something doing this. Otherwise, I don't think most of the company. I even doubt if it's legal to do this.
Oh, okay. So it's all about
maybe you can
data
only
security.
Yeah, maybe you can only send non-sensitive data to do that, but sensitive data is I don't know how to guarantee the data is safe.
Okay.
I have a question about the tools. So you just mentioned that in those companies that sometimes they just require you to switch from one tool to the other tool. So I want to know how they make this decision. It's usually top down. It's due to
Okay, good question. For example, how I lead this process because I trying to persuade us. Most of the things is that there's a data infrastructure team. For example, currently I'm working this data infrastructure team. They have a new framework. They already have a bunch of the experiment or testing or integration tests to guarantee that new framework. Okay, maybe there's a key functions we need. Maybe there's a very very good some kind of the we need the efficiencies. There's a improvement of the efficiency, or maybe improvement of the stability, or maybe none of this, but we have two frameworks to do the similar thing, but we just want everyone to use one of them. Most of the things is like that. The team who owns the framework start push this. So the process is like this. So first, they have a good support and very good document of the new framework. Then they trying to speak out to everyone, track all the users to the old frameworks, and give them time and give them a very good documents how to migrate from old jobs to new jobs. After this, announce, okay, we give a deadline, 3 months or something like that. Please migrate it. Okay, most of the things is that, of course, this deadline would be delayed. It happens every time when cities happen. Okay, but delayed because of the last maybe 5% of the jobs or something like that. That's always a problem. And try to go to those last 5% or maybe last 1% jobs, trying to deal with this. And most of the cases, that old system, you still maintain it for a long time, something like that, at least several months, until one day, okay, finally, we don't need to maintain it anymore. But even you notice, it's not like something, okay, the old system we need to maintain, you can decrease the machine for the old system. 100 machine decrease to 50, decrease to 10, or maybe decrease to 1 someday. That's the most, always happen.
Okay, and among these big data tools and software, which one's your favorite you like to use, and the reason?
I don't have a favorite, be honest. I don't have a favorite.
Or which one's easy to use and also to collaborate?
Which one's easiest to use? Presto SQL is the easiest to use, I think. Presto SQL is the currently the data mining things is the most easiest one, as long as you don't need to write any UDF. Presto is not good to implement the UDF by ourselves. It's not that. It's painful, but Spark is very good for UDFs. Yeah, but currently I think Ray is some kind of a good thing. But I'm sure maybe you don't try. Maybe you can, if you are familiar. yeah, if you're interested in it, you can try Ray. I'm not sure if you have this knowledge.
Can you tell us more about it? This software, is it open source?
It's open source.
Okay.
The developer side is those Spark guys open a new company and develop Ray. You can Google it, RAY, and maybe you will have a fun.
All right. We will check it out and have some fun.
Yes, so I have one question regarding the skill set. So what level of computer science knowledge is required in data analytics?
To be honest, I'm not sure because I'm a software engineer.
Oh, okay.
But based on my understanding, I hope it's the some I work with several data scientists. I hope what you could know is that besides traditional Spark, the theory of MapReduce is very important. So you would know how to write faster SQL or how to write faster job. A lot of things is that if you understand the theory, how the things are mapped and reduced, how the data flow is, you understand the things behind it, you can understand, you can't write the best solution first, but you can avoid some stupid problems during the development. That's very, very important.
Okay.
So when you work in data infrastructure team, right? And when you work with data analysts and then data scientists, what are the things you wish them to know and then be easier to communicate and work with them?
Okay, so first, currently it's difficult to say I'm working data infrastructure team, but yes, I work in data infrastructure platforms. But in Facebook, I'm not working data infrastructure team. I work in the product team. Second, how I think, besides the things I speak, I talked several minutes ago, the things you should understand the theory. Second is I think based on my understanding, if they can organize and speak out, understand what kinds of the most painful thing, and find out the pattern of their jobs, and discuss with our with our software engineers, it would be helpful for us to do all kinds of the improvements. Yes, that's the thing I think I hope they could do. It's something like that. Okay. Organize your job and again predict what may happen in the future. Find out patterns of your jobs. And of course, I think a good data scientist can do this improvement by themselves. The things is happening like this way. Facebook is not building FGF at first, but the several data scientists find out, oh, most of the jobs looks like this. How about we develop the framework? Then Facebook have FGF. FGF is a thing built up on, you can see built up on data frame. Is the things generating SQL. Is a framework generating SQL jobs. It's not you write SQL jobs by yourselves because there are too many SQL jobs, too complicated.
That's so cool. Sweta, do you have a question?
I have a question, like what big data technology is like most popular one, like used in almost all the industries in the market?
It's difficult to say most popular one, if you want to be honest, if you want to be expert, you have to understand most of the popular ones. And it's not that I understand most of it, it's something you should understand the things behind them. You can make the decision, okay, what's the best one for my product? Why use this? For example, Spark and Presto. In both DiDi and Facebook, we have both Spark and Presto. Even now, we even can use Ray. Okay, what's the situation of the current things? What's the pain point? What's the most painful thing? And what's the advantage and disadvantages in Spark, in Presto, or something? Okay, how I can do it? I think it's actually you need to understand at least Spark and Presto, everyone. You have to understand any tools you can use.
Okay, so these sounds like these are the things we need to consider when we select tools. What are some other considerations when we do solution design or select tools, like integration?
It's difficult to do a summary like this, you know. I can only give you
a specific.
So when you do when you are doing a design review or you are doing a design, it's difficult to say summarize what you should do. That's too generic. I don't think it's no sense to do such summarize. Makes sense? Yeah, it makes no sense. It's situation is not the same. You can have problem on efficiency. You can have problem on how easy it's something like about how easier our customer is using it. You know, SQL is always easier, but everyone knows you can always have a faster solution if you write Scala. But people always don't want to write Scala, right? Okay, how to make sure the system is stable? The stable means that okay, everyone knows Spec have problem on memory limit. How to avoid this? Yes, it's a painful thing, but you can still find a way to solve it. Presto also have these things. Okay, then we can do data bucketing to solve this. Okay, how to do this? But data bucketing is bringing more complicated things. Do we need to do this or something? Because too many things you have to think about. So it's difficult to. It's very difficult for me to have a summarize on this.
Okay, very insightful. Do you guys have any further questions?
Yeah, I have a question. How do you like I know this is this might be out of this domain, the question, but where do you enjoy your work? Is it like DiDi, there's a different challenge when it is coming to AV, and Facebook, there's a different challenge. So how do you manage, and where do you take this interest, and how are you managing your work, and how are you taking much more fun in your work, and how do you like it? Like, is it fun? We know when we're working on data, we're working on a huge set of data, where when we're trying to integrate with other data sets, we know it's a difficult task, and taking that interest also takes time. So as you have vast years of experience, so just like to know, how do you manage it, and how do you feel like if it is interesting or not?
It's difficult to say how, but what I can only say is that what I enjoy is most of the things is people enjoy. Not people, I enjoy that, something like that. Most of the things in the self-driving, especially self-driving company, but also not all, of course, not only self-driving, but also in Facebook. If you go to work, a lot of things, there's a problem there. Problem maybe comes from PM, maybe comes from manual, maybe comes further from the reality. You just have so much data. That's the problem. That's the reality. Okay. Yeah. And no one knows if we could solve the problem. You can only know after you try.
That's true.
So that's the things I enjoy is that, okay, no one knows. Maybe I also don't know at first. then I think about it, guess it. It's, a lot of things is guess, you know, you have to predict what would happen in the future. Guess it and try. And of course, maybe you fail, but sometimes you succeed, then you feel very, you know, I will feel very happy. So that's the things, especially from you know, big data side work, or maybe you know, that's infra side work, because a lot of the projects is uncertainty. A lot of uncertainty. No one knows it would succeed or not. And in fact, a lot of them fail. It's not something like that. Okay, majority of it, most of the product team, you are a front engineer, you know, ask you to write a front page, ask you to build website. Maybe you build website not that beautiful, but at least you build it. But backend work, data work is not something like that. You don't make it, you don't make it. That may be true.
Yeah.
I think I could deal with this within an hour. In fact, it's 2 hours. And I have no way to make it. That could happen, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand.
That's a good part, and not that good part. Some people enjoy it because it's, you know, it's risk. Some people enjoy it.
Yeah, like need to build up that interest also. Yeah.
Any other questions from you guys?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So we just had a very insightful time here. Oh, but I have one last question. I want to ask you is do you have any study tips, strategies for current graduate student in data analytics?
That's too difficult for me. Be honestly, I'm not a data scientist again. And I don't know how to give you strategies, you know, because in fact, I didn't learn a lot of, you know, especially big data knowledge in my university. I didn't learn a lot of things. I learned after I work. So it's most about it I learned from my work. So I don't know what's the most efficient way to learn it, you know. It's something naturally I learned it gradually, because you go here and you find, oh, the system is built as this, how people do the design, how you technically do design, why he do such kind of design. Maybe one advice I could give you is to, after you work, you may be trying to join more design reviews or some, you know, listen to others and trying to learn from others, how, especially some, you know, high level engineer, how they design a system, why they design like this, why people ask questions and challenge people like that. I think you may learn from that, but be honest, it's difficult to do this in the university.
So because if you are hiring a data engineer intern, what are the things you want to see in a potential intern?
For new grade, majority, it's just we just look into the, you know, if you have solid skills. But in fact, that's not the, you know, what we want is not the solid skills. What we want is we want to guarantee that you have ability to learn things in the university. Of course, no one would teach you the very basic lessons, some SQL Spark again in the, you know, after work. So at least this is a must. But also is something like that. Okay, we want to check if we actually know this. This is first. Second thing, this is not for data analysts, because I don't do interview for data analysts. It's something like that. I want to see how you think problem. If you think a lot of things in the logical way, specifically, if I give you a problem about MapReduce, you have to understand the things, you know, the theory of MapReduce. How you, sometimes I give you people a small design question of a MapReduce job, and it's an open question, but it doesn't matter if your answer is correct or not. But what matters is how you think about it, why you do your design like this. You must have reason. So you think so for this is the understand the theory behind the framework. Understand the things behind the Spark and MapReduce and Press or something like that. Why people do like that. That's useful, I think.
Thank you. Thank you for that advice. All right. So do you guys have any other questions?
No,
no questions.
I'm good.
Okay.
But the session was really good, and thank you so much for joining us today. And
Yeah,
Thank you
we got
so
to
much
learn
for-
a lot about new tools such as Ray and other Presto.
yeah,
Oh, you didn't use Presto before?
No,
No.
I think it's even used widely than Spark, be honest. But Spark is more famous. I don't know why. But in fact, those big companies we use Presto more than Spark, especially for small jobs.
We have to try
Really
and look into it.
fast.
Yeah.
Looks like that's something we need to learn.
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you for this session.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It was
thank you for
really
taking
insightful.
time out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's stop here then. And again,